have officially reached the okay point in life. If you disagree with me, okay. If you don't like me, okay. If you think I'm doing too much, okay. If you no longer want to be connected to me, okay. And child, if you believe 5 plus 7 is 2, okay.
What's going on, champions? This is Julien, Stoutt, licensed personal trainer, licensed PE teacher, world record powerlifter, special education teacher, here to take the fear out of fitness and help you become the best versions of yourself as humanly possible. You saw the video. Guys, let me ask you a question. What is your toxic trait? The reason why I posted this video in this particular video in my video is because 2 out of the 5 things this woman said, I have an extreme problem letting go or dealing with. And what I mean by that is this. First thing is, can you guess which 2 they are? Now, I'll give you a minute. Write in the comments below, if you get to this point, write in the comments below which of the 2 traits that she said okay to that I never say okay to. Or I would say that I hardly say okay to. All right? And once you've gotten to this point, I'll give you another 20 seconds to write your answer in the comments below. But 2 out of those 5 things that she says okay with is things that I cannot deal with, or I have very strong difficulties dealing with. And it is a toxic trait of mine. I have to admit it. Because if I don't admit what my toxic trait is, how can you admit what your toxic trait is? Especially if you're watching my channel, chances are your toxic trait is you don't like doing the work it takes to get in shape. The chances are, if you're watching my channel, you have issues monitoring the things that you put into your body. If you're watching this channel, the chances are that you have a huge problem asking people for the help that you know you absolutely need. Well, have you guessed yet? The answer is 1 and 5. My toxic trait is, if you disagree with me, I'll first find out why you disagree with me. But the truth is, what she said is, you disagree with me? Okay. She don't care. Now, that could also be considered toxic, because if somebody's disagreeing with you and you don't care, that means you're not willing to learn. And if you're not willing to learn, then you're going to stay stuck in the same process that you're always stuck in. But on the flip side, if somebody disagrees with you and you know you're right, why are you fighting? Why are you swinging? Why are you drop kicking the next person in the chest when they disagree with you? You know you're right. And I'm saying this, the funny thing is I'm talking to me right now in that particular section, or anybody that shares this toxic trait with me. You already know you're right. I mean, I would argue with my mom till the cows come home about 1,000,000 people can be wrong. If 1,000,000 people says 5 plus 7 is 2, that means there's 1,000,000 people wrong. You and I both know the answer is 12. Right? Which I'll get to that one later. However, but you know you're right. People are disagreeing with you, but you know you're right. Here's why it's a toxic trait for me. As a teacher, if I hear somebody disagree with me and I know I'm right. I'm trying to teach you the right thing and you're refusing to listen, so it irks my nerves and pisses me off. And then I start to dig and dig and I dig until I hit water. Part of me has to learn, and part of you has to learn, to be honest with you. We both have to learn that some battles aren't just worth fighting. They're just not. The funny thing is, every now and then I get a case of it. I think what happened is I got into a Twitter finger beef with somebody online the other day, and I was okay with it. I wasn't unsatisfied with how I reacted with this individual because they really did say some ignorant stuff. But I was probably exhausted mentally from it, that when another conversation that I chose to engage in with the person that I'm actually very good friends with, somebody else tried to get on there and tried to mock my answer. The funny thing is that the person that answered, the person that asked the question, actually said I went deep on him, but then he threw a lighthearted joke out there between me and him. To other people it might have looked like talking trash, but between me and him, it was all good. It was all jokes, and I'm laughing at him. I'm sure he's laughing at what I'm saying and stuff, because I know there's all love between me and him for real, right? And the other person got into it with me, and I actually just dismissed him, because the person I was talking to knew where I was going with it and knew why I said it. Whether or not it changes his opinion or not was irrelevant to what I said. The reason I said it was how I felt about it. And when I know this man's character to know that he is not insecure in who he is as a man. And I know that he is not particularly offended by the things that I say to him when I speak honestly and frankly to him. When I say these things to him, he knows that this is where my mind is at. But at the same time, he knows that I am not really being disrespectful to him, because there's no need. We're friends, right? But it's my opinion. Whether or not it's rooted in some level of fact, which is why he responded the way he responded to me. But on the flip side, it's still not going to change him from doing what he does. And I don't want him to necessarily change because of my opinion of it. Now, if my opinion makes him see things a little bit differently, that's cool. But if it doesn't, that's cool also, because I know he's a highly intelligent man. And I know that his mindset on how he moves is how he moves to keep himself within the framework of how he wants to operate and move. And since he operates and moves on a relatively honest and frank level, I have no ill or issues with how he moves as a man per se. All right. So this other individual starts laughing at what I said and asks me, how do I define this such and such thing? I'm not going to get into the actual topic because it's not important. But I dismissed him. I said the person I was talking to doesn't need an explanation, which is why I'm not answering you. And also the fact that your condescending laugh before you ask me a question lets me know automatically that you're not trying to listen to learn. You're here to try to kick in some BS talking points. And as a result, it's going to be a circular firing squad, and I'm not into it. I'm not here for it. I felt a little bit empowered when I did that. I'm not going to lie, because I pulled and withdrew myself out of the discussion, because the person that I was talking to, if he really moved if he started asking me real serious questions and really, getting deep with it, like I went with it, then I would have entertained with him, because now people would see where the mindset comes from and why is it that people feel the way they feel when they feel that way. But this individual was just simply laughing and being disrespectful and condescending. So I just decided not to engage with him. And it felt really good. So when I saw this video, when I saw the video with this lady saying, okay, if you disagree with me, I started to navigate myself to that position. I'm starting to navigate with that position. I need to be smarter in recognizing when to engage and who to engage with. Right? The fifth, okay, which was, if you say 5 plus 7 is 2, okay, that's the one. That's the real one that I cannot shake for the life of me. That's the one I can't shake. That's stupid. 5 plus 7 is not 2. 5 plus 7 is 12. You are going to... This is why it drives me up the wall. And I'm speaking frankly because I want us all to grow from this. I want me to grow from it, but I also want you to grow from it. If this is your toxic trait, I want you to grow from it. I want you to grow from it just as much as I do. So that way you and I can walk down the same road together, look each other in the eye, know why we're walking down this road together, and smile and keep walking. So we know 5 plus 7 is 12. 7 plus 5 is 12. 3 plus 2 plus 4 plus 3 is 12. All right? The reason why I can't let that go, or I fight tooth and nail to make them see it the right way, is because somebody's going to walk around thinking that 5 plus 7 is 2. 5 plus 7, not 7 minus 5, but 5 plus 7 is 2. And they're going to teach someone else that. And they're going to argue with them until they have bent them to their will. Unless somebody bends them back. Right? So, as a result, I don't want foolishness and ignorance to be in the world. Don't get me wrong. There's a difference between a different route that gets to the same point. So like if you said 3 plus 2 plus 4 plus 3 equals 12, it's no different than saying 5 plus 7 is 12. So that's your way of getting there. That's fine. I don't mind that because you got to the right answer anyway. However, if you're getting to the wrong answer day after day, week after week, year after year, it drives me mad. I know there's some people out there that'll get mad at me because there's some things that they say to me that is 5 plus 7 is 12. And I keep saying 2. Don't get me wrong. I may not be aware of that particular problem per se, but I'm aware that it's probably a problem within my life that I am yelling 5 plus 7 is 2. All right? So don't get me wrong. I'm not immune to 5 plus 7 is 2 either. But I'm hoping that somebody will take the time with me to make me understand that 5 plus 7 is 12 the way I would with them, or the way I would with whatever subject matter it is, especially when it comes to fitness. If I'm telling you that, baseline metabolism is this, and you're eating 1,000 calories more than your baseline metabolism, and you still can't understand why you're gaining weight, you're going to drive me up a wall as my client. If I'm trying to explain to you that you have high blood pressure, you cannot keep entertaining so much salt in your body that you're going to actually put yourself at an extreme risk for an aneurysm or an exploding artery or something, or hardening of an artery, that in of itself makes it difficult, and it will drive me up a wall. If you're a diabetic and you are over consuming sugar when you have an excess amount of body fat, that will drive me up a wall as well. All right? So, but I have to learn how to fight that. But here's the deal. As a personal trainer, what's funny is I lean on one thing and one thing alone. When I am having difficulties getting through to any of my clients, and they'll tell you this, if I'm having difficulty getting through any of my clients, here's what I tell them. I know you like paying me, but do you really like paying me? Because if you really like paying me, I mean, I could train you for free and you could just keep giving me money. But the reason why you're giving me money is not to finance my lifestyle, but it's also meant to hold yourself accountable to the desires that I have as your trainer. And if you can't follow it, continue to pay me until you get it right. Or until you give up doing it your way. Or until you give up doing this and doing it your way. And when you realize that your way ain't working, you'll eventually get it right and then stop paying me because you got it right finally. That is where I don't become argumentative with my clients, because money is the great equalizer in all of this. But when it comes to intellect, there is no equalizer if there's a difference of opinion or difference of fact and difference of knowledge. So, guys, I'm not going to keep you much longer, so I'm going to land this plane for you real quick. Tell me, what is your toxic trait? What is the thing that makes you hard to deal with, hard to be around, hard for people to love and respect you? Tell me what that is, and we'll talk about it in the comments. I appreciate your time. If you wish to do so, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube so that the algorithm can get to know me and get to know my message. Have a nice day. Be the best you. Class is Stoutt.